Hello, welcome to Mikey's Video Game Madness. Today we're playing Marvel vs. Capcom 2. This is the PlayStation 3 version. This is also available on the Xbox Live Arcade, the actual arcade, the Sega Dreamcast, the PlayStation 2, and the original Xbox. If I'm forgetting anything, I apologize. This game's been on a lot of different systems. I'm sorry, I have allergies really bad. I'm not sick or anything. I just... basically when it gets warm out and the pollen starts to come out, it's like I have the bubonic plague. So this is more or less a port of the arcade because basically everything's unlocked. I originally had this for the Dreamcast, which I actually like better than this version, but the Dreamcast version is probably a little bit harder to come by these days than the $14 or $10 that I spent on this. And I think the PlayStation 2 and Xbox versions are also expensive. I never got to play those, but so I don't know what the features are of those games. But widescreen gameplay. I'm gonna go with classic. I don't know why. I like the chunky sprites. They probably look awful to most people. They will probably look awful on this, but that's what I'm choosing. Alright, game settings. I'm not used to setting this up. I'm sure the last thing you guys want to watch is the menu screen. Anyway, the Dreamcast version, you actually had a store and you actually unlocked your characters. Everything on this is unlocked. This is more or less more about multiplayer. It's a very technical game. By the way, I should probably check my inputs because I don't even remember what the controls are. This is a lot more complex than, say, Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Let's see, light punch, heavy punch. System. Marvel vs. Capcom 3 actually more or less basically kind of took the system from Tatsunoko or Tatsunoko, however you want to say it, versus Capcom on the Wii. Sorry, my head's so foggy, I'm out of it. Mode. I'm gonna pick easy for this video because this game is pretty brutal, and for me not have played it for a long time, it's even worse. As you can see, there's a shit ton of characters. On the Dreamcast version, you probably only have this row, probably shorter because I don't remember roll immediately being selectable. I don't really understand the different types and stuff like that. You can tell me on the message board, but I probably still won't understand it because I don't get super deep into these fighting games. I'm not gonna lie, most of the time I'm a button masher. Glad they give you a lot of time. Use Joe from Resident Evil. I miss the way she looks now. I mean, the way she looked back in the original Resident Evil. Even Resident Evil 3, I think she looks stupid with her little spandex suit on and stuff because it's clearly made for sex appeal. Which I'm a guy, I like nice things as much as the other person, but you know, when I'm playing games, I have trouble taking it seriously when things are purposely put for sex appeal and then you're expected to take the game seriously. Let's see. I want Ryu, but there's so many damn characters I'm having trouble finding them. I probably picked a really bad combination. I usually have Spider-Man and Venom. Because Spider-Man's usually fast, Venom's big. And then the other character's fair game. Wow, these sprites do look pretty chunky. I probably should have put Chris. I'm used to playing the the Dreamcast version. This version is a lot harder, and it gets hard pretty fast. I don't know why, unless I'm just better with the Dreamcast controller. The only thing I know are the half circle moves. That's why I'm so terrible at Street Fighter 4. I have the arcade stick. I'm not using it now. But I have the arcade stick and I practice with Street Fighter 4 to try to pull out some of the moves, and it's helpful, but I forgot how to change my characters. Idealistically, I want to switch my character, but I kind of forgot how to. Isn't that bad? I rarely ever play this game. On the Dreamcast, I think you had to push the face buttons in a certain amount of order. There we go. I guess it's the same thing, because it looks so ridiculous when they try to do their little super attack. This really isn't a good game to do a commentary on. I was about to say it's ridiculous when they try to do their super attack and miss, because they start punching the air. Dr. Doom. What a stupid character. Sorry, long-time Marvel fans. I mean, he is interesting, like in some of the crossovers. I don't remember exactly what comic he started in. I think it was Fantastic Four, but I never really read Fantastic Four. I didn't really relate. Really, the only Marvel comics that I started to read somewhat were the X-Men for a very short amount of time, and mostly Spider-Man. But they have Marvel Zombies, and then they had Marvel Zombies versus the Army of Darkness, which is also the Evil Dead series. Army of Darkness was Evil Dead 3. Haven't seen the remake, by the way, kind of afraid. But yeah, Dr. Doom's actually featured a lot in that comic book, and he seems kind of interesting in that. But anytime I've seen him portrayed in on like cartoons and stuff as a kid, it wasn't that interesting. You think I'd be used to everybody's moves as much as I've played these versus games, but you'd be surprised how subtly different they are. I forgot I had Jill on my team. Cyclops is such a douche. I used to like him when I used to watch the cartoon, but now that I'm older, it's just so by the books. He's like the Marvel equivalent of basically Superman's attitude, where everything he has to do has to be right and justified. He's not like Wolverine, that would be closer to like Batman's kind of attitude. Although Wolverine will kill somebody, Batman won't. Although in the early Batman comics, like the first ones that came out, Batman actually had a gun. There's also a racist Batman black and white show. It was racist at the time. No, it's racist now. It wouldn't have been considered racist at the time because of the war effort, even though it's always been racist, but it wasn't controversial is what I'm trying to say. Because it was during wartime, so there's Japanese stereotypes and stuff like that, which just looks offensive and stupid. Much as you want to have faith in humanity, you always look back and you realize how of a limited species we really are. And if my speech isn't coming off as intelligent, it's probably because I'm butting mashing and looking at a bunch of people beating the living shit out of each other. Chill has weird attacks. Usually she launches her enemies. Except the little grenade launcher attack and punch attacks. That's how you switch, but one thing I have to say that's better about this version than the Dreamcast version is I like this controller better, the Dreamcast version with that really angular control pad. It kind of hurts my thumbs a little bit. I'll try it one more time, but I don't want to try with these characters. If it makes me play these characters again, I'm not going to want to play it. Oh, thank goodness. We'll try something else. We'll try Spider-Man. Venom. Oh, there's so many people to pick from. I'll pick Tron Bond. I kicked myself every day the day that I got rid of the Mega Man Legends spin-off, The Misadventures of Tron Bond. I love that game so much. I'm sure it's super expensive if I went to go buy it. I wish they'd release it on the PlayStation Network. Look at Roll. It almost looks like she was rendered on the NES. All the Mega Man characters except Tron have the worst attacks. All the Mega Man characters, basically Mega Man and Roll, they have to basically change their powers and get power-ups and stuff. They're so weird. You have to be pretty good at mastering. My problem right now is I don't know what game she's from. She might be from the Darkstalkers game. This game was made for a joystick because my thumb is already starting to hurt. Yeah, now I know I do some of the power-ups, but I wish the buttons on this PlayStation controller protruded out a little bit further like the Dreamcast version, because it's harder to push on both of the buttons that are horizontal from each other at the same time. I probably should switch to someone else. There's Venom. Venom's always good to have. He's like a medium-sized character. I think the Hulk's slightly bigger, not like the Sentinel. Sentinel's probably the most gigantic character in this. I really like the cheap, jazzy Capcom soundtrack. Thank you for your army of pirate ghosts. Awesome to know the game knows how to do stuff and I don't. Surprised this game doesn't have a seizure warning. Man, I'm not liking that pirate lady. I would really like Tron now, but that was a complete accident, but it works. Who's Eddie Brock? I quit reading Spider-Man so long ago. I know when I played the last Spider-Man game, there was like an anti-venom and he was white and he could kill Spider-Man and steal his powers. I don't even know if that's Eddie Brock anymore. I'm so clueless with what's going on in the comic book universe. That's why I'm usually sticking to graphic novels. I think the last one I bought was, I don't know if I already said what I bought on a different video, but if you're watching these out of order, it doesn't matter anyway. I bought this Jim Henson graphic novel of a unwritten script that he wrote a script before he started Sesame Street and the Muppet Show and all that stuff, and it never got made. And they took the script and made a graphic novel out of it. And then I was reading that. I tell you the title, but I can't remember it offhand. It has something to do with sand. Just look up Sand and Jim Henson on Amazon. But it's like weird and the humor's kind of dark. And the first 3 Muppet movies, which is the Muppet Movie, the Great Muppet Caper, and then the Muppet Takes Manhattan, kind of had that same kind of vibe to it. But I recently watched the movie The Muppets. I know a lot of people loved it. I thought it was absolutely terrible and didn't feel anything like something Jim Henson made. Even the Muppet Babies kind of had the same sense of humor. I loved how the Muppet Babies were able to somehow get clips from all these different movies. I guess a lot of people really admired Jim Henson. I miss that circle move because I almost have to push all directions to get to it. There's Psylocke. She's always featured in the games, but when it comes to TV shows and movies, she's always underrated. Anyway, what was I saying about the Muppet Babies? I just said I was always surprised how they were able to get the rights to the movies that draw on top of, like, you'd see Kermit the Frog and Ghostbusters, and then Star Wars, and Indiana Jones. And I know Ghostbusters is Columbia. Star Wars is Fox, and I guess Fox and Lucasfilm, but I think back then more or less Fox. And then I got a giant robot, but I had no idea how to utilize it. Psylocke is pretty good. I wish I could use more serve bots, which are those Legos guys. I lose. That means I'm quitting. Oh, I miss Trombone. Damn you, Capcom, for not making Mega Man Legends 3. Alright guys, I know this commentary kind of sucks, but there's too much going on and my allergies are at all-time high. But I tried. Maybe even in the future, if I'm not happy with the final result of this video, I will make another one, but I don't feel it's necessary. Part of the reason why I do this is to show you the game. Steve Benway says show you what it looks like, and it was played badly. It's asking my initials in 3rd place. This was played on easy. I got my ass handed to me because I can't remember half of the controls, and this controller is pretty terrible for this game. And I get 3rd place to put my name in. What does that say about everybody else that's playing? But anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I will talk to you on the next video. Alright guys, take care, bye.